For the past 5 years, there have been so many twists and turns in the Lori Vallow Daybell case, from dead spouses to missing children to doomsday prophecies. Welcome everyone to 12 News at 1. I'm Tram Mai. Lori Vallow Daybell is already convicted of killing 2 of her children in Idaho, and now the doomsday mom is on trial for conspiring with her brother to kill her former husband Charles Vallow in 2019. Our coverage continues of the murder conspiracy trial against Lori Vallow Daybell, with her fate now in the hands of the jury. 12 News journalist Erica Stapleton joins us live outside the courthouse in downtown Phoenix. And Erica, what can we expect as deliberations continue for a full day today?
Yeah, Tram, this is, as you said, the first full day that the jury's had this case. They got it late yesterday afternoon and soon after told the judge, we're going to go home and continue this in the morning. They wanted to sleep on this. So they came in at 10:30 this morning. They started their deliberations, and we understand that they broke for lunch around noon, and we're expecting them back between 1 and 1:30 here. So we know they're still going. We are possibly expecting a verdict later this afternoon, but I don't know. It seems like they're really focused on going through all the evidence and really weighing everything in this case. And it is quite the case. As you said, this happened all back in 2019, the death of Charles Vallow. Lori Vallow Daybell accused of conspiring with her brother to kill him. And we know that this case hasn't seen its day in court here in Arizona because Lori Vallow Daybell has been in Idaho fighting murder charges there. She was ultimately convicted in that case for killing her children and her current husband's first wife, Tammy Daybell, or her role in Tammy Daybell's death. So there are certainly a lot of twists and turns here, and not all of that information came forth here for the jury in this present case. This was very narrowly focused on the murder and the conspiracy to murder Charles Vallow. And I'll point out, Tram, too, that Lori's brother, Alex Cox, cannot be charged in this case because he died back in 2019 before charges in this case were filed. So the jury certainly has a lot to consider here, and we know that they were left with a lot during closing arguments yesterday. Vallow Daybell, who is representing herself, spoke to them for about 15 minutes, claiming this was all self-defense and that the state didn't do a good job putting on this case. She encouraged the jury to say, well, did they present anyone who said they saw me talking about this or heard me talking about this? And that's just the reality of what she's put forth here. And the state, however, said there's no way that this was self-defense. We've laid out all this evidence. They gave their closing arguments for more than 90 minutes. And ultimately they had the last word with the jury. The prosecutor saying this was an execution, and Lori Vallow Daybell, the defendant, set her brother up to shoot Charles Vallow. So truly a lot of details here for the jury to consider, and that's just where we're at. So my expectation, again, having covered this case, is that we could see a verdict at some point later this afternoon. But again, it's totally up to the jury to set their schedule and really take their time deliberating this. So time will tell, Tram.
All right, so Erica, right now as we speak, the jury is on their lunch break. They broke at around 12 o'clock. Hopefully they'll be back by 1 to 1:30, around that time. And then from there, we continue our verdict watch. I'm wondering, as far as crowds go, I mean, what has been, the crowd reaction? What have you seen? And have you seen Lori Vallow Daybell's family at all show up?
Well, Tram, I'll start with the crowds first. And today has felt a little different than other days just because we haven't even been inside the courtroom yet. We know the jury showed up and they went straight into deliberation, so nothing's convened inside court. Whereas for all other days during this trial, we have been able to go in and we kind of get a sense of what's going on for the day. So they're straight in deliberation mode. We have not seen the prosecutor. We have not seen the judge. We haven't seen, Lori Vallow Daybell's defense team. And we haven't seen any family members of people who are related to Lori Vallow Daybell or Charles Vallow. We know Lori's son, Colby Ryan, has sat in through some of the testimony, and we were able to talk to him. He said it's hard. It's hard to watch his mother defend herself. It's hard to watch other people impacted by this case have to take the stand, have to testify, have to listen to testimony about the death of Charles Vallow. And, to really let this sink in with people, this is her oldest son, Colby. He lost his 2 younger siblings in the matter of these cases over the years. He lost Charles Vallow, who is like a father figure to him. So I can only imagine how difficult it's been. And we also have family members, as I mentioned, related to Charles Vallow. His sister, Kay Woodcock, is J.J. Vallow's grandmother. She's been at the forefront of these cases, kind of ringing a bell saying we need justice, really pushing for this, and has been waiting for this day in court here in Arizona. We've seen these people come to court and sit in on testimony, and we're certainly expecting them to be there when the verdict is read, but we haven't seen them yet today. They haven't been sitting in the public. And, I'll go back to the crowd for a second too, Tram, because there has been a crowd of people lining up to wait to get inside, and myself included as being part of the media. There are limited seats inside that courtroom, but there really isn't a crowd outside, I would say, waiting, hoping to see, what might come out. I know we talked about a lot of people have been likening this to Jodi Arias, where there were big crowds outside and it was such a fanfare surrounding that proceeding. And, I think that's not exactly what we're seeing here, but there's certainly a lot of interest in this case. And Tram, I'll let you know, we may have lost connection with you, so I'm not sure if I can hear you if you follow up with anything, but we will be staying here at the courthouse. I will be inside waiting to hear whether or not we reach a verdict this afternoon. Of course, we will be bringing you the latest here on 12 News.
All right, Erica, thank you so much for all your live coverage. Okay.